we're here for you. Good night.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
Public Auditor Benjamin Cruz is doubling down on the OPA's FY24 report, with Cruz telling the Guam Chamber of Commerce that the OPA's job is to not look for any missing documentation. I'm Don Sulat, and you can find out what this means coming up.
What started as a local farmers market movement has now bloomed into a vibrant new creative space in the heart of Tumon. I'm Nevaeh Anderson with more from the grand opening of Putian Place coming up.
And coming up, we introduce you to another Guam Teacher of the Year finalist. We shine the spotlight on Simon Sanchez High School English and Language Arts teacher, Genevieve Abaya.
Good evening, everybody. Hafa and happy Wednesday. I'm Jason Salas. This is Prime Time. We're KUAM, and these are your top stories. Well, Public Auditor BJ Cruz in our top story looks to be doubling down on his agency's report on GovGuam agencies. Cruz implored the public to read the Office of Public Accountability's compliance report to learn more about the deficiencies found in many of your government's agencies. Here's KUAM's Don Salat with the full details.
GovGuam fought the findings. In fact, they took almost 90 days. They received the compliance report January 6th, and it wasn't until April the 24th that they finally signed off and said, okay, these are all of our responses. But if you take the time to read the compliance report, you'll find that the young auditors that they were complaining about were correct.
Public Auditor Benjamin Cruz spoke before the Guam Chamber of Commerce earlier today. Cruz doubling down on the Office of Public Accountability's FY 2024 reports on Government of Guam agencies. As KUAM previously reported, the FY24 audit's findings includes $22.6 million in questioned costs and 5 major federal programs where auditors were not able to issue an opinion on due to missing or insufficient documentation. Cruz telling attendees the response from Government of Guam agencies is that his office has the ability to look for any pending documentation, a statement he does not agree with.
We're finding that when they come in and they very proudly present us with a thumb drive and say, this has everything that you're going to need for the audit, and we go in and look at it, then we write our audit and we explain to them, you don't have the eligibility here, you don't have the clearance here, and they go, oh yes, we have it. And they go, where? It's here. And I said, it's not supposed to be in the department. It's supposed to be in the file.
The public auditor also weighing in on the Government of Guam's procurement process, with Cruz saying that every form of correspondence from phone calls to emails needs to be memorialized and documented between the agency and the bidder, adding that although the procurement law is not perfect, it does provide structure.
If you can comply with the structure, it does a good, it provides the intended purpose. But if you don't, then just admit it. If somebody, if an appellant comes forward and says the record of procurement record wasn't kept, don't dig your heels in.
If you would like to view Cruz's full statements, you can visit our YouTube page at KUAM News. Reporting for KUAM, I'm Don Sulet.
We've got a rather frightening story from the crime beat now, as Guam's finest are investigating a suspected arson case reported early Tuesday morning up in Dedido. Just before 1 a.m., a resident reported 2 vehicles parked in an apartment complex set on fire, sustaining severe damage. Units from the Guam Fire Department responded to the scene, with the case remaining open as investigators work to determine what may have happened and who may be responsible. Anyone with any information is urged to contact the Guam Police Department at 671-475-8615. That's 475-8615. From healthcare, the Guam Department of Public Health reports now 16 total whooping cough cases so far this year. They include one new lab-confirmed case, with health officials saying 3 cases required hospitalization and 3 have been linked through contact tracing, underscoring ongoing community spread. To help curb this outbreak, free the 29th at the Didido Park Gym from 10 to 1, on May 30th at the Southern Regional Community Health Center in Hinalahan from 10 to 3 down south. Doctors stress that vaccination is key for all ages, especially young kids, preteens, expectant mothers, and adults who have not received a booster shot. The disease known as pertussis is highly contagious but preventable, with health officials urging the community to stay up to date on vaccines and to protect vulnerable populations. For more information, you can check our website for the link to the Guam Communicable Disease Surveillance Dashboard. Let's take a look at island utilities now, as the CCU has approved a proposed increase to Guam Power Authority's fuel recovery surcharge, sending it to the Public Utilities Commission for their final decision. If indeed approved, the adjustment would take effect the 1st of July, raising the LEAC from about 13.6 cents to 19.4 cents per kilowatt hour. For the average household using 1,000 kilowatt hours a month, that could roughly mean about a $58 increase in your monthly bill. GPA says the hike is needed to address millions in fuel under recovery, driven by raising global fuel and shipping costs. Officials add the charge does not generate profit, but is used strictly to cover the cost of fuel used to produce power. The proposal now awaits review by the PUC. We are just getting started, everybody. There is much more prime time on the flip side of this break, so please keep watching and keep streaming, because we're right back right after this.
This Memorial Day, save big at Kmart. Upgrade your home with incredible deals on home appliances, including full-size refrigerators from brands like Hisense and Wizard, starting at just $4.99. Refresh every room with stylish, affordable furniture made for comfort and everyday living. And get the sleep you've been dreaming of with the new Eon Home Mattress Collection. All in stock and ready to take home today. Don't wait. Shop these Memorial Day savings now at Kmart.
Now it pays to spread the Better Together experience. With our brand new referral program, you can earn up to $150 in account credits for every referral you bring in. That's right, family, neighbors, friends, even your coworkers. Just pass them your account name and account number. When they sign up for Docomo Pacific service and drop your info, cha-ching! Credit applied. So spread the word and start stacking those savings. Additional conditions may apply. Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
Welcome to the world, Mila. A world where you'll feel loved and cared for, not just by your family, but by your extended family, your community. That's the power of relationships. At Bank of Hawaii, we've believed in that power to build better lives for our customers and communities for over 125 years. So when you need people who will look out for you, look to us. Because with the right relationship,
anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
The question we're all wondering is, who is the Guam Teacher of the Year going to be? We shine the light on the 3 incredible finalists, introducing you to a teacher tonight from Simon Sanchez High School, English and Language Arts teacher, Jonah Villabaya.
Half day, everyone. My name is Jonavia Baya. I teach here at Simon Sanchez High School. I've been here for about 10 years. I teach English 10 honors and AP language composition. And I am one of the Guam Teacher of the Year finalists. I have so many emotions just being a part of this journey. At first, I was quite surprised because there are so many amazing teachers here in the Guam Department of Education, and I'm just one of those many. And to have been selected as a finalist, it just makes me feel so proud to represent all teachers and also the Simon Sanchez community, because as you know, we've gone through so many disruptions in the past few years. So it's nice to represent a school community that has so much resilience and perseverance. It's made me feel empowered, but also humbled. Like I said, I'm surrounded by amazing educators. The other finalists, Madrid, as well as Carolyn, it's like standing near them, it elevates me, but it also humbles me because they're amazing in their craft as well. And the journey has forced me to really reflect on my own philosophies as a teacher, because sometimes we don't really sit with that. You know, we come into the classroom, we do the work that we do, and then we go home and we still think about the work that we do, but we sometimes don't reflect deeply about our philosophies. So this journey has allowed me to do that. I love music and performing arts. So when I was in high school, I did a lot of singing and dancing. And I like to take that creative part of me and bring it into the classroom. I'd like to bring some of those aspects of my creative life and my performing life into the classroom. Not to say that all teachers have to be like that, but it does help with the students. It helps connect with them, and it makes them really excited to learn. Really trying to show them the activities that are engaging will help them engage with the text itself. So it's taking modern technology, social media, activities that best relate with them, and then it helps them engage with the text as well. I actually wanted to do music first. Like I said, I like to sing and dance, but in college I found this new passion for English and reading and writing. So I pursued English, and then midway through my journey I thought, what am I going to do with this? Like, I'm not going to be a best-selling author anytime soon, so I hopped onto education as like financial security. And then I really began to love the job when I started working with the students, because of the relational aspect. You know, we create bonds with them, and they make the job so fun, you know? And the best part is I never had to abandon that creative part of me, because the job, like I said, it gives me opportunity to create things all the time. So, you know, we talk about the impact teachers can have on students all the time, but I don't think we really shed light on how much they impact us as educators. Like I said, it's reciprocal. You know, I'm here to facilitate and inspire and guide, but they're here to always remind me that there's more to learn, more to grow, and just to be better at my craft. It's amazing that they're able to still come back to me and share their successes regardless of the circumstances that are happening. That also reminds me of my why, because they come back, you know, and they don't have to, they just reach out. And then also with my current students, I feel like we've created a safe space enough for them to be vulnerable. If there's something they can take away from my class, beyond text and learning and annotations and all the English-related terms, I just want them to feel confident in themselves enough to learn and want to learn more beyond the text. And so that's taking ownership of their learning. Yes and no. I feel like the no is because what's working now is working in the individual level, right? And the classrooms are doing a lot of work to help foster children. I would say in a larger scale, I think we need to do a better job of encouraging students to stay here in Guam, because a lot of students feel like, oh, Guam is so small, it's so isolated, I can better myself outside, just move stateside. But I want them to feel like they have all the opportunities already here in the island.
And in only 3 days' time, we are going to know who the most outstanding public school educator is, as the GDOE Teacher of the Year will be announced on Saturday. You want to check out our Facebook profile right now at KUAM News. Throughout the week, you'll be able to cast your vote for the People's Choice category. All you need to do is hit the like button on the finalists that you think do an exceptional job preparing our kids for success in life. This year's finalists are, of course, Antolin Riddle reading teacher Madrid Borja, JFK marine biology instructor Carolyn Harul, and as you just saw, English language arts teacher Genevieve Abayo at the home of the Sharks. Over in Tumon, right down the street from the campus that JFK and Sanchez share, the Tumon Night Market is back and bigger than ever following the massive success of the recent Mad Collab event that drew more than 7,000 people. It was big. Starting Sunday the 31st, the market launches its summer showcase series at a new location right in front of the Tumon Sands Plaza, bringing local businesses into the heart of our tourism district. Organizers say the move is designed to boost visibility for vendors while giving the community easy, walkable access to food, shopping, and all sorts of entertainment. The kickoff event doubles as industry night, featuring live performances by the John Dank Show, who is always amazing, and Cold Stare, equally good, plus games, family-friendly activities, and extended events inside the plaza. Officials say it's just the start of a summer filled with music, culture, and the community connection. We are staying in Tumon for our next story, as a new creative space is open down there, bringing local shopping, art, and community connections all under a single roof. Nevaeh Anderson takes you to Fujita Road.
Putian Place celebrated its grand opening in Tumon over the weekend, turning a dream years in the making into a new creative hub for the community. Located at the Golden Plaza on Fujita Road, the space was created by managing partners Dark Halvo and Storm King Piper, two friends united by their love for local culture, creativity, and community. The idea grew out of their first venture, Fam Farm Guam, which started hosting farmers markets 3 years ago at Fort Apugan and Hamamoto Gardens. From building booths and painting signs to booking vendors and entertainment, every detail was handmade with one goal in mind: support local businesses, celebrate market culture, and give families a fun place to gather. But after years of building and breaking down their events, they knew it was time for something more permanent.
After working those farmers markets, Storm and I realized that, we put a lot of effort and a lot of builds into it, and we just wanted to find a way to be more sustainable, where we're not tearing down all our hard work after one day. So we looked in the market and we found this beautiful, perfect place here in Tumon, Fujita Road.
Now with a space of their own, the pair say their mission remains the same: uplift local entrepreneurs and inspire people to create. And even the name carries that message. Putian, the Chamorro word for star, was inspired by both their names, Storm and Dar, while also reflecting on their vision of doing everything under the stars in their new home. And inside, visitors can enjoy a two-tier experience. On their market side, shoppers can browse a curated collection of local goods, including jewelry, apparel, local honey, and products made by many entrepreneurs.
You're gonna love it. It's just such a beautifully curated space where you can support our local makers and creators.
And in the craft bar, guests of all ages can tap into their creative side with painting activities, build-it-yourself kits, and monthly workshops.
And you can come in just like a coffee shop, which we do have some coffee. You can come in just like a coffee shop and order from the craft menu. We'll have watercolors and acrylic paints on, different mediums and different arts and crafts, and build-it-yourself kits. Will be available, and we'll be changing them monthly.
Putian Place also features a library, a plant propagation swap wall, and spaces designed for people to relax, connect, and create. And through it all, Dar and Storm say family has been the foundation of the journey.
They saved us a lot of time, and they were always more than willing to show up and help. Everybody came together with their skills and their talents, and we were able to just create this magical space, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without them.
Yeah, this place is a testament of truly family and community.
With a special blessing from the students of Magalahan Harad Chamorro Academy Charter School, the ribbon was cut.
The ribbon. Ready? Go ahead, Titi. Count it down. 3, 2, 1.
And the doors to Patian Place officially opened. Patian Place is open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sundays from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., inviting the community to shop local, get creative, and feel right at home. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News. Now for a look at your world at home.
This isn't just a public park, everybody. It's very hallowed ground for our island's history. It's the War in the Pacific Memorial Park in Aspen.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Tourism is Guam's #1 industry. It creates jobs and brings in spending. When a visitor comes to Guam, they spend their money on hotels, on transportation, on shopping, on dining out. They're happy they came to Guam. You know who else is happy? The hotel they stayed in, and the bellhop at the hotel. The tour bus drivers and tour guides. The stores they shopped at, and the banks they used. The restaurant and the waitstaff. The supplier who delivered the ingredients, and the farmer who supplied the produce. From real estate to retail, tourism has a positive impact on every industry. When tourists pay taxes, it means locals pay less. Let's make sure our local economy grows so it becomes stronger and more sustainable. Make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Support tourism.
Let's go to Grandma's.
Oh, man.
The only thing slower than her internet is her stories.
Yeah, last time my video loaded, I aged 1 year. Is that? No way. Woo! Awesome.
Grandma, your internet slaps.
Sign up for GTA Fiber today and get grandkid-approved internet for as low as $75 a month.
Hey, let's go.
Oh, man.
Tonight's sports feature is brought to you by Cars Plus.
Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby! Simon, big three. Oh, baby! It's over. Believe it, Knicks fans, for the first time in 27 years, the New York Knicks are going to the NBA Finals.
This electric Game 4 win against the Cleveland Cavaliers marked a historic sweep for the Knicks. New York winning all 4 games by double digits and capping off the night with Knicks Hall of Famers presenting the team star player Jalen Brunson with the Eastern Conference MVP award.
I wouldn't be here without my teammates. The belief they had in me, this coaching staff, this organization, this fan base, I mean, without them, none of this is possible.
It was a full circle moment for Brunson, whose dad was on the team the last time the Knicks reached the NBA Finals back in 1999. That team faced off against the San Antonio Spurs. They lost in 5 games. But this season, the Knicks have dominated, winning 11 consecutive games, breaking records, including the largest playoff comeback in franchise history in Game 1 of the series.
Jalen Brunson once again, and it's a 4-point Knicks lead.
All-Star center Karl Anthony Towns expressed how special this moment is as a New Jersey native and fan of the team.
To have Patrick Ewing, Clyde, everybody here, to have the greatest fans in the NBA show up here on the road, and for them to give us this kind of love everywhere we go in the world, you couldn't have asked for a better feeling.
The game was also a who's who of celebrity fans, with Timothée Chalamet and girlfriend Kylie Jenner, Ben Stiller, Tracy Morgan, and diehard Knicks superfan Spike Lee all courtside showing their support. And it wasn't just the stars bringing the energy. Both in Cleveland and back here in New York, Knicks fans erupted after every big play, taking to the streets, climbing light poles, and dancing to celebrate the team's historic win.
And then Friday, 10:30 a.m., KUAM TV8, Peacock, Game 6. Is it going to be Thunder Up or is it going to be Go Spurs Go? Watch live, find out. History in the making, NBA Finals on the line.
Freedom, that's a cheap thing. Freedom to ignore this, that's a cheap thing. Sacrificing facial hair to nature and involuntary blood donations, cheap things. No one signs up for an 800-pound bear chase. But if it happens, cheap thing. VIP parking, exfoliating, treating gravity like a suggestion, saying it'll dry. Free-range parenting, forgetting if that's a moose or an elk, all cheap things. Remembering without saying it, couldn't be more of a cheap thing. Sweating your tail off, freezing your tail off, an American saving another American's tail. Cheap things. Making a cheap vehicle for only people with cash like him? Not a cheap thing. Or confusing capability with unaffordability? No, not a cheap thing. Making adventure affordable? Now that's a cheap thing. So we're bringing you more cheap things this year, because cheap things should be everyone's thing.
Everyone has goals. Saying yes helps you get there.
Retirement, huh?
Yes. When is it your turn?
I'm working on it.
And well-deserved.
Could I be a truck guy?
Oh yeah, we totally see truck guy.
Can we really do that right now?
Yeah, wild, right?
Can we start that college fund?
Yes. Because yes is so much more than the answer to a question. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together, and Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas.
Off a day, welcome to News Bites. I'm Jonagan Charfris. So let's get right to it. The inaugural Ereksan Itasi, a PDC festival, is scheduled for this weekend, May 30th and 31st at the Pedro Santos Park. Dive into festival activities and have so much fun. Next up, the Victims Advocates Reaching Out is proud to announce its 5th annual Purple Gala, themed Bloom in Hope, taking place on Saturday, October 10th at 6 p.m. at the Leo Palace Resort. This year's theme, Bloom in Hope, reflects the strength, healing, and resilience of survivors and their families as they begin after their trauma. And the Department of Chamorro Affairs and Guam Museum, in partnership with the Department of Youth Affairs, proudly announces the return and expansion of the Uritao Youth Leadership Academy for its 2nd year, following a highly successful pilot program in 2025. Set to run from June 15th to July 24th, the The 6-week academy will bring together a select group of young men for an immersive, hands-on experience rooted in traditional Chamorro knowledge, leadership development, and community engagement. Scan the QR code for more information. And in case you missed it, you can head on over to our Instagram at KUAM News or KUAM.com.
You know what, everybody? This year, Wednesday, the 27th of May, is a little bit rainy. It was today, but you know what? That just means you can stay inside, have some soup, and have some birthday cake. That's an awesome way to spend your birthday. So happy birthday to Dad, known to us as Troy Augustine. We love you so very much, Dad. Say your kids, Maya and Tony, your wife, Anna, and your family near and far. Troy, we hope you had a fantastic birthday today, man. And Benjamin Espinoza Lopez, Viva cumpleaños to Ben from the village of Santa Rita, right on, down south. Best wishes and many more. Love, your family. And you know what? Arvin Flores, Coach Arvin Flores over at St. John's is having an absolutely fantastic week. Won St. John's first boys volleyball championship. He's one of the on the coaching staff. First title in 24 years, and now he's got a birthday. So it's a party over there in Upper Tumon. So, Coach, we hope you have an absolutely fantastic birthday, and congratulations to you once again. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com. Man, Joan did a fantastic job on News Bites tonight. Yeah, we should do that again tomorrow night. We'll see. All right, that is going to do it for our show and currently in negotiations. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Jason Salas. Please be excellent to each other. Share half a day, everybody. It's free and it means so much. We'll see you next time.
The clock is ticking with just 65 days until the primary election, and so you too are on the clock to make your choice for who will lead Guam into the future. Half day, everyone. I'm Nevaeh Anderson, and welcome to The Hub and our Decision 2026 election season weekly rundown of the people, places, personalities, pressing issues, and public matters you'll need to know leading up to August 1st. And so we welcome to the KUAM studios the distinguished members of our community who have thrown their hats into the ring so that you might consider them for public office in the Guam legislature. Tonight joining us are senatorial candidates John Savarez and Will Castro on the Republican ticket, Angela Santos and Anthony Tyron on the Democrat ticket. Now, some of you may be familiar faces to the public, some of you may be new, but nevertheless, we're pleased to have you on tonight to speak to the issues facing our community and your plans to help move Guam forward. Welcome, everyone.
How are
you doing? With all this rain, how was the drive into the studios?
Beautiful. It's good. Forced us to drive safely and slowly.
Yes, of course.
Absolutely.
And so I know that we have two veterans joining us today, so I'd just like to say thank you for your service before we begin. We just recognized Memorial Day weekend. How did you all enjoy your weekend?
I'll start with.
Oh, I thought it was okay. Didn't do too much, but there's always a lot to do out there. One of the things we did do was we did our third annual Veterans Golf Tournament on Saturday. So that's where we spent part of the weekend. So that's what I did.
Nice.
You know, as a veteran, wholeheartedly for me, that Memorial Day is about our fallen. And every year for Memorial Day, I stop, I take my wife, my kids, and we stop by the Veterans Cemetery. As an overlook, we say a prayer for all our veterans and our fallen comrades. Because at the end of the day, the pains of war on Memorial Day, this is for the ones who didn't make it home. Mm-hmm. Those families and for me, I want to say thank you to our Gold Star families and to my brothers and sisters who never made it home. My heart is heavy for you, and the blood that you shed is not forgotten.
And we also, we were speaking earlier before we started recording. I ran into you as well at the Patian Place opening over the weekend. How did you enjoy that, seeing this new place?
It was beautiful. The people are definitely, we are entrepreneurs at heart, and we like to share our crafts. We are very much artists. I'm an artist myself, but I did attend a memorial service on Monday over at the Veterans Cemetery, and it was the first one that I attended, and man, just hearing and seeing the wreaths go up to the stands, and the space that they held for the people, for our people and everybody who have served in wars is, I was crying. I sat with a couple of veterans who are in the group, the nonprofit 671, Got Your 671, and just hearing their stories along the way, I was honored to have shared space with them in that space.
And Mr. Castro, how did you enjoy your weekend?
It was good. Kada biyahe ng gwahan no oportunidad na bi honores team and veterano siya ni Fernandina. I take the opportunity to first thank my dad who made it through the Vietnam War, and my sister who also is a veteran, and so the weekend was an opportunity to reflect on that. And I usually post something up on social media and then in our family chat to that effect. And so to all the families who are dealing with the loss of a loved one or someone known to them and personal, Sidus Masi for their service. And we pray that the resurrection comes and we can be reunited with them all. Thank you for your service. Thank you, veteran. Sidus Masi, veterano.
And I know that some of our guests today have ran before and have been senators before, so this part may be familiar to you, but we're going to get into the rules of today's panel. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we start. So we'll be posing a series of questions covering various topics, some crafted by our news team, and then some from our community. For our news team questions, you'll each have 60 seconds to respond, and for our What We Want section, our community questions, you'll each have 90 seconds to respond. And then after all the tough stuff, we'll get into some more rapid-fire fun questions so that the community out there can get a sneak peek into your personalities and just who you are as human beings outside of public office.
All right.
Does that sound good to everyone?
So far, so good.
The second part did.
So stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back after this.
Drinks aren't new at McDonald's. Coffee? Until they are. All new drinks are here.
GU Self Storage, located in Harmon next to McDonald's, offers a variety of storage units. With rates starting as low as $95 per month, we offer complimentary use of dollies, push carts, Klein's hand trucks, and pallet jack, with a fully covered loading and unloading areas and ADA accessible units. We offer 24-hour CCTV surveillance monitoring, alarm, and individual pin-coded gate and door access, because your safety is our priority. GU Self Storage, voted Pika's Best in 2024. Call 671-648-7867 today.
Welcome back to the Hub. Now it's about that time that we get into our questions. And again, these are questions that are coming from our KUAM news team. Are y'all ready to dive in?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go. We'll try.
So, the first question from our KUAM news team is, over the past few years, we've heard promises and plans surrounding a new hospital. And while many believe that a new modern hospital would be beneficial to the island, there are others who believe that we can successfully renovate and refurbish the current Guam Memorial Hospital, our island's only public hospital. What are your thoughts on the current state of our hospital, and what are your ideas or intentions for long-term solutions to ensure the security and service to their healthcare needs on island? Would you like to start?
Me?
Yes.
So I've heard a lot of the sentiments within the people of the island, right? There are a lot of clinics on island, and this is one way that we can hold each other accountable, because then everybody cares and everybody wants to be that help and assistance, whether it be leading up to and just living a more healthier lifestyle, right, is very important. But there are a lot of clinics on our island, right? And then if we can focus on that and just give them a lot more support. But I'd like for us to be able to work on our hospital right now, because there's, as we know, we can't build a hospital within 6 months, or however that thought and that dream is. It's very irresponsible for us to keep that in mind when right now there's urgent care that's needed. So what's important is that I believe is to really beef up the appreciation and the working within the community that exists already within our clinics. And when you bring the love into the light, it becomes brighter.
And Mr. Savarez, what are your thoughts on either moving forward with building a new hospital or working with what we have at the Guam Memorial Hospital?
So the sad reality, thank you for the question. The sad reality is Guam needs a new hospital, and we're not moving fast enough to make this happen. I don't think anybody on our island disagrees with that statement. What I think we need to do right now, because we know that the hospital is not going to be something that happens in the next 2 or 3 years, even the next 6 months. What really we need to focus on and work on is getting our community healthier. What I believe we need to look into is the rural healthcare initiative that's coming out of the United States, the federal government, because that's going to allow us to actually bring medical care into our community levels and create and strengthen our Rahan Public Health Center. We can reopen our Manila Public Health, our Darito Public Health, and then possibly open up more community health centers so we can get people healthier in our community, because the reality is getting our people healthier in our community will alleviate the pressure from our hospital, because I'm tired of hearing about people's staying inside the hallways. Thank you for the question.
Thank you. And the same question to you, Mr. Castro. What are your thoughts on either moving forward with a new hospital or uplifting the current Guam Memorial Hospital?
Sure. First, I just want to put Torunuma Medical Siads and Infant Mediciha. Thank you for all the support that you've been putting to the people of Guam. I stand firm on maintaining the Oka Hospital where it is at and building upon what works there. I had the privilege of serving in a prior executive branch administration where there was an intensive study done, and the capital intensiveness to demolish Z-Wing and rebuild it is significantly less than the medical city that they had planned for Manila. Now, my hat goes off to the extreme vision. I mean, what foresight that the chief executive had to incorporate the surrounding higher educational institutions and high schools, for that matter, in order to build in a workforce and other forms of revenue. But as my colleague had said earlier, the demand is here and the demand is now, and I think it requires less capital intensity and less time from cradle to grave to build a new facility. And if there's any funds left from whether you float a bond, you can reinvest that into human capital. So Sejus Masi again to the GMHA staff and all the folks who put in the time and effort.
Thank you. And Mr. Tyron, what are your thoughts on the long-term solutions of either moving toward a new hospital or staying with the Guam Memorial Hospital now?
Thank you for the question. My thoughts are, right now, we have an existing hospital that we probably need to continue to work on and provide resources so that that hospital can continue to run. Our ideals of moving into a new hospital are things we also have to do. Some of the challenges that we may want to pay attention to is when we do start getting into this new hospital, look at not being in the same position we're in today. When the time starts to come where we're going to need to start looking at building the new facility after this facility is built, then at least we'll be able to prepare ahead of time and ensure that, you know, the upkeep can hold it for as long as it can, and at the same time continue to do the things it needs to do. So if we could do that, that will definitely help us take care of what we have now, beef it up as much as we can, and in the future, make sure we're not in this position again by maintaining the new hospital.
Well, thank you all for your thoughtful responses to those questions. It is an important issue as, you know, we look at the long-term health and safety and security of our island, not just through construction or new infrastructure, but through the health of our people. Okay. So thank you. And over to our next question, just switching gears. Over at the Guam Police Department, we're seeing rapid development of the force through the addition of new facilities, new vehicles, new equipment. Should future funding to support this modernization of GPD prioritize more officers, more manpower, as they've said they've faced shortages of, or better equipment, or community policing programs, and why? Angela, would you like to start?
The question in itself again?
So should future funding for the Guam Police Department, as they continue rapidly modernizing, should it support either increasing their manpower, better equipment, or community policing programs?
I think that it should focus really on the welfare of our police officers, because when they feel good about when they have that support, they're better able to watch over us, right? There are caretakers too. They watch over us for safety matters and as well as anything else beyond that security-wise. And when I see, so personnel, for sure, and definitely more incentives to garner more people to want to become police officers. In my family alone, my brother has 2 sons who are in GPD, and I appreciate them. They are good people, and when we give that opportunity and we make them feel better about their role, right, and give them the accountable measures to hold themselves accountable, then we get better service within our community and our island. So personnel and yeah, just the enforcement of who they are and how important they are on our island.
Thank you. Mr. Tavares, the same question to you. Should future funding go to support manpower, better equipment, or our community policing programs?
So I'll lay it out in order of priority that I believe that we're talking about. I believe first and foremost, our community policing, our neighborhood watch programs need to be beefed up. I believe that is such a great program that we have. And the more community involvement, it's like the Antigua style, right? When I was walking from home to church to home, by the time I got home, if I did something, un mantoka, right? I got in trouble because I did something wrong and it was policed at home. But the community is the first line of defense. Then we get into more staffing. When I look at staffing, we need to start at the high school level, right? We have high school programs for culinary, nursing. We need to do things to get these high school kids into get them ready for policing, for the police. So because we know that we have a brain drain within the departments. And then of course, equipment, right? We've seen a lot of federal funding going in for equipments, and we can keep tapping into those resources to get equipment, so we don't need to drain out our own bank account locally. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Castro, the same
was
question.
A fast 60 seconds.
Right?
Well, I'm the son of a customs officer, and my sister is a GPD investigator, retired. I firmly believe, even though I've experienced it, I lived it watching my father work overtime and my sister going out for extended periods of time for an investigation, that my father always came back never complaining with the customs and quarantine, and that's because of great leadership. So I believe in investing in good leadership. We all can accept the fact that we need more resources and tools, which would include the ability to retain great officers. But I also would like to see, as an educator, sa maestro Zupago, mas preciso pagwal na piniponi would be programs and partnerships starting at the foundation where it all stems from. And that's reinforcing our values as an island community and those types of things that we can teach and pass on to the next generation so that we can preempt a lot of these crimes before they are even committed. And so with that said, Zuzusmasi, again, to all the law enforcement and peace officers and first responders, thank you for your service and your sacrifice. Last point would be on the issue of education, which I'll circle back to. I really believe it begins at home and is reinforced at school before it gets out there into the larger community. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Tyron, I understand that you are a former Guam Police Department officer, is that correct?
Yes, so that makes that question a lot harder, huh?
Slightly.
Slightly harder. All right, so as it relates to our officers, I think, coming from that area, the retention and recruitment is something we have to examine and pay attention to. There are things that, everyone touched on here next to me, right? And that's trying to find better ways to ensure that when we look at what they currently have, that we're properly assessing and ensuring that the equipment, all the resources are being given to them and they're properly utilizing them, and, continue to make an effort to ensure that we're using them properly and we're not, for example, spending too much funds on overtime if we're not able to recruit more police officers. We also need our society and our community to also help us by taking care of kids, ensuring that we understand that the responsibility is great on these officers, and we need to ensure that we give them what they need to do their job better. Thank you.
Thank you all for your responses to that. And our final question for all of you is, your first 100 days in office, should you be elected come November, would you mind completing this sentence and then justifying your answer or laying out your plans to accomplish your goals? The sentence is, my first 100 days in office as a senator, I will. Again, starting.
Okay, with me, I will be present with within the island about the issues that are very pertinent to us. Because then every season, right, there's a different issue that's very, very important. But whatever stands out that needs its attention, that's what I will do. Sign them off.
Okay. Mr. Tavares, in your first 100 days, you will.
So in the first 100 days, and I'll tell you in the first week, I will have a bill ready to restructure the recycling revolving fund. Junk, white goods, cars. The problem is right now the money goes from revenue and taxation, where we pay our vehicle registrations, to Department of Administration, to Guam Environmental Protection Agency, then to either DPW or to the Mayor's Council. There's too many hands in the cookie jar. This is why junk doesn't get picked up. This is why our mayors opted out of the program and said enough is enough. We don't have the support. That's going to be within the first week. That's one of the first bills. Secondly, what I want to work on is a farming initiative. We need to support our farmers because we have our sustainability right here is going to long-term sustainability on Guam is farming, agriculture, fishing. We have to work on that because I want to call Guam's home for me. Guam's home for my kids. And the only way to do this is to make sure that we can provide food for ourselves because outside factors are currently messing us up right now. And we can't keep dealing with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Your first 100 days, Mr. Castro, what will you be doing?
And thank you for the question. So the first 100 days, I plan to prioritize education, support our vulnerable population. That would include even manamkutsiads and persons with disabilities. I plan to shore up and advocate, I'm sure, along with my colleagues, cultural or indigenous affairs. I also would like to look at advancing initiatives that serve our community in terms of the youth and recreation. Bills like Every Child Deserves a World-Class Education that empowers principals and puts money directly into the classroom, or about decentralizing certain services that are offered by the state that we can better provide in the private sector or through some other mechanism. Or what about prioritizing sports right up there, like paddling and fishing and talaza throwing, those types of sports right up there with American football and soccer. That way we can embrace our indigeneity. That way we can understand, respect, and strengthen who we are as a people. That's the competitive advantage we have over any other place in the world. And from that foundation, I believe, as a teacher and as a principal, as a father and grandfather, I think it'll set us in the right course, of course in close collaboration with the executive branch and stakeholders.
Thank you. Mr. Tyron, your first 100 days in office, you will?
I would like to take a look at my three main areas of focus, which would be, of course, we just talked about public safety and law enforcement, look at the recruitment and retention areas that need to be focused on. I'd like to take care of our veterans to ensure that they're able to avail of their medical and medical benefits as well as their compensation so that they can have an overall better quality of life. And then on the third part, it would be economic development. So we want to be able to ensure that, you know, we can improve our economic development on our island so that everyone on our island is able to benefit from that economic development. From the Manamku to the Manhoban, we need to ensure that everyone gets a fair shot at, you know, trying to do the best that they can and get our island to be the best that it can be.
Thank you, everyone, for those responses. I think from each of you, we can kind of see maybe which committees you have your eye on should you be elected. But great job, everyone, with your responses for our internal Q&A. Now we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be taking questions from the community with what we want. Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
After a crazy busy day, think the Ultimate Hut Bundle. Pizza, the easy indulgence. No drama wings and sticks to lift your spirit. Dinner solved. All for only $36.99 from Pizza Hut.
Welcome back to the Hub. Okay, and now as promised, we're going to tap the pulse of the community and take some questions from our voters and get what their concerns are in this segment that we call What We Want. Once again, candidates, you now have 90 seconds to give your responses, and here is our first question.
What would you do if you were going to support the performing arts in public schools?
What would you do if you're going to support the performing arts in schools? And I guess we could also extend that to the arts in general in schools. I'll start with Mr. Tyron.
Oh, wow.
Over here.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Miss Ange. Thank you for that. Now it's my turn to start. So for performing arts, I went to Father Duenas, and one of the things that we had to do as an all-boys school was to do what's known as Song Fest, right? So that's something that they continue to do up until today. So I believe that for the performing arts, I think even in the public school system, they still continue to do the Christmas plays, and then they have other things there for the different holidays. I think continuing to do that would be something that we need to do. I know one of the other schools out there, Mount Carmel, they now have introduced a bit of sports, which is not directly performing arts, but it has some relation to it. But things like that. Mount Carmel also has a lot of, they have their bands there where they actually sing and do those types of things. So all we got to do is follow those types of programs that exist and continue to put those into our schools that are here today that may not have those programs.
Thank you. Mr. Savares, what will you do to support performing arts or the arts in general in our public schools?
So I wasn't bad. I was a percussionist in middle school and high school. So for me, it was part of me growing up. I'm a Simon Sanchez graduate. We don't have a home yet. Pretty soon we're gonna have a home. I miss hearing about performing things going on at the campus, and it's sadly my alma mater isn't even open right now. And those kids who attend Simon Sanchez, they don't even have their band class. Their equipment's still up there, and it's sad. For me, what we need to do is promote more of this. Get these kids out, right? Mr. Hardy was my band teacher. Mrs. Flores from FBLG. I grew up with her. She's these teachers, these people who are teach people something that is going to keep them preoccupied is huge. It's huge. We need to give more outlets for people to have performances, and incentivize the mall, the GPOs and Agana shopping centers to get these kids out and give them a place to play. Because at the end of the day, yes, we can have the classroom setting, but if we don't give these kids the opportunities to express what they're doing, the reality is we're failing the whole system. Yeah, thank you.
Well, I almost went over 90 seconds.
And over here on the end, Angela, how will you support performing arts in our public schools?
Supporting the performing arts, right, in middle school, thank you very much for that question. That's deep in my heart. But how I would like to have that expand is getting out into the community, right? John mentioned it, and I was thinking the same thing too. His own is a more broader. Mine is a more community and village type, right? Because in the essence of what he said, how can they showcase if it is just in their school? We can invite everybody to it, but I like for that program to be expounded and head out into the community. The community in the villages. The villages is they're the root of where we grow up. So I'd like to encourage that, for them to build that self-esteem amongst themselves, right? Because artists were very, 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 very like in our minds and everything. But when they see that support, it brings you a certain feeling that you just would like to bring everywhere that you go. So that's how I would like to support the arts within the school program.
Thank you. And Mr. Castro, finally, how will you support performing arts in our public schools?
Sure. Well, first and foremost, coming from the classroom perspective, I think there is a tremendous need for greater resources, so you got to support the programs that exist. I'll give the top 3 surface level answers, and I'll drill down as time permits. So availing the resources necessary for these programs, whether it's a procurement of tools or equipment or any type of supply. In addition to that, here's a big one. Here's where we stumble as a community, especially in a very rigid government system of bureaucracy. So the relaxation of policies that allow people to ideate, to ideation, creation, and then production, because there's not enough time in a day for most schools, and there isn't enough connectivity or connections to the expected standards within the standard curriculum, right? A liberal arts curriculum. And the third one, I think one of the panelists also mentioned, is the support of external partnerships, the incentivization of allowing these individual performers or groups to compete among themselves. The hotel industry for sure embraces this, but how about international travel and competition and fostering that sense of pride in what you do? The performing arts comes in many ways. It comes in song. Now, here's something the community doesn't know. I was the White Rabbit back in the day when Carmelito Elementary School was a demonstration school. And what they meant by that was bringing into that more of the humanities and the performing arts. And so it has a big part of character development. So fund it, support it, relax policy, and reinforce it externally. Thank you.
Thank you. And as a former band kid myself, proud band kid myself, I appreciate your thoughts on that question. Thank you all. So we will move on to our second question. Here it is.
What are the plans to revitalize Tuman and bring it back to the bustling tourism spot it should be as previous years?
Okay, so big question. What are your plans to revitalize Tuman and bring it back to the bustling tourism destination it has been for years? We'll start with Mr. Savares. What are your thoughts?
So I started working in Tuman when I was 15 years old in the back of the house. And this is when Golden Week was Golden Week. It meant something to everybody who worked in Tuman. And the reality is right now what we're chasing is 2 to 3 days versus 5 to 7 days of people staying here. And when I look at the spend from 20 years ago to today, we're seeing 80% less spend of what was the spend value of our tourism demographic. And that's problematic for our economy. What we need to do first and foremost is clean up Tuman. It is not the destination that I grew up working in. It is not the destination that is conducive for safety, for visualization. It isn't the Tuman that we had pride in when tourism was the economic driver that it was. For me, what we need to do is revisit, look at ways that we can, one, clean up Tuman. 2, we need to incentivize businesses, smaller businesses, to open up and create new opportunities for people to do, for things for people to do here on Guam. Because the reality is our product is not the same as it used to be, and we need to create opportunities and things for people to do when they come here, especially our cultural stuff. We need to get them involved in our cultural preservation and get people excited about preserving our culture. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll go over to the end. Mr. Tyron, what are your thoughts on how we can revitalize Tuman and our tourism industry?
So right now, as Jonathan had talked about, we do need to clean up that place down there, right? We need to make sure the infrastructure is put together a little bit better. We need for it to get cleaner. And being in the chamber, they had some plans that they put together to get everyone to start doing this. So part of that is our community coming together to be a part of that, and that's something that we should be doing. As leaders, we need to be looking at where our markets are coming from and what's moving today. When you look at things like medical tourism, right now our veterans don't have a hospital here. If we are able to potentially bring veterans from the Asian region into the island, that could be a different type of tourism that we've never tapped on before. By doing that, what we can do is start doing little things in Tuman that we've never had before, and then maybe build around that if that starts to become something that's successful. And then we should look at a lot of the other things. Of course, our culture is something we want to be putting out there. That's exactly why people come here. Many folks come here not just to see the concrete buildings down there and structures. They want to come here to see the people and what they do. So we got to improve on that, and we got to work together to do that.
Thank you. Mr. Castro, what are your thoughts on how we can revitalize our tourism industry and Tumon?
Mas zahu edzon na questiona, piot edzino, the one you asked earlier. I think that's a great question. It's a better question than the first one. I think the more important question, y mas preciso na questiona put hagu, put yi hinengeku, is not the revitalization necessarily of Tomumha, Lo Hafasiads and Isengsong Ilago, the northern villages, the central villages, and mas importante pagwao, the under-resourced, underutilized, under-serviced villages of Hadza. I think to bring as an excellent recommendation in terms of niche marketing, but for me, go back to the basics. Highlight what the tourists want in all the exit service, a more authentic Guam experience. And when you do that, you're bringing people here to experience only what the Chamorro people can provide by way of, as we discussed, the performing arts, by way of arts and crafts, those types of natural opportunities through the natural environment. Tomon's a wonderful place, and I think it could be a really good hotbed for those niche markets like educational tourism, which is a deca-billion-dollar industry global-wide. What better opportunity to come to Sunshine right here 12 months out of the year and to experience the uniqueness that Chamorro people can provide right here on Guam. Tomum is great, and I believe in the model that they have going on down there. Accommodations are fine, but I would love to see more of our visitors circulate throughout the rest of the island. Put economia, and for all of the people of Guam. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. And finally, Angela, how would you move forward with revitalizing Tumon and our tourism industry?
I think those are separate reasons for just to have people come over, and Sainamasi for that question. It's separate reasons, right, to have and to boost the love that we have as Chamorro people. Everybody here on this panel has said perfectly what they have felt, but it all encompasses the light that we have as Chamorros, right? Nobody wants to go anywhere unless there's that love that's rooted, right? So bringing it back, not just to Tumhum, right? We need to clean up our area first and foremost. We can't shine light down there if we can't take care of it ourselves, no? So that's taking pride and bringing it back to our roots, right? I am a part of Saging Katuran Chamorro, and that's over in Tumhum, over at Ipao Point, right? I've been a part of that since its conception. Anyway, so what we have been all this time, that just brings and concepts of how to and how we'd like to, not just for that spot down there, but as an island and as a people, bring it back to the light of being Chamorro with the love and the homeliness that we express and we share with our tourists. And yeah, focus on that. That way, Tumhum, and localize Tumhum even more. And I appreciate these Sunday night markets, I really do. Right, so localize it into the extent of that, where it does bring back that light, and we can expand around the island and bring tourists, not just to one specific place, because then we are all whole. Sainamasi.
Thank you. Yes, certainly it's about, putting that Hafaday spirit forward and letting our visitors into that and experience that. So thank you for your responses. And our final question for the What We Want section, here we go.
I guess utilities just doesn't seem to have been a change in that area for us for the better, at least lowering. So it'd be nice to see that some help be given to the day-to-day people that are working and making ends meet in lowering the cost of living in that area with the utilities, especially.
Right, so a bit of a more complex question, I think. Just to sum it up, how will you help make the cost of living, particularly in the utilities area, more affordable for the people of Guam? Mr. Castro, would you like to start?
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the question from the community. Lowering the cost of living is a much broader question, and then the specific one was relative to utilities. I have the tremendous privilege of teaching on the shore of Hoghead Bay, and we had many a day where we opened the windows and the doors, especially right after Super Typhoon hit us, and we didn't have island-wide power, but we were able to sustain. And so the question that we always think about, especially in our circles, is how is it that a location with an abundance of light and natural resources by way of water and rain has such a high cost of living, specifically for the utilities? So what I like to do is support greater federal assistance in this regard to develop systems to help us go back to cistern systems. I don't know if folks can remember, that should reveal some of my age. Estong kuzu fanan kini estisia gi fionhulo. There was water catchment systems, right? Especially on the neighboring islands where you capture the rainwater. Couldn't we develop something a little more modernized other than the 50-gallon tanki and reuse that so it's both potable but also consumable? And what about the abundance of sunlight and alternative forms of energy? And I don't have the answers, but I certainly will rally behind, if not author a bill that would support the research so that the university and the college can guide us towards a more sustainable future, a cleaner future, and one that brings down the cost of keeping the lights on within reason. And there's no excuse, there's no good enough of a reason going forward why an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean can't have an abundance of power, especially with the sun. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Tyron, how will you help the cost of living, particularly utilities, be more affordable for the people of Guam?
Well, I think when we look at our utilities here, right, the good folks over at GPA have been doing things to try to improve how our power system works, our partnership with the military buildup. There's been less spoken about the fact that their arrival here has added to the Ukadu power plant. They don't make that announcement that much, but that's one of the ways that the folks from the buildup through the military have given back to the island. So using those types of systems to ensure that, you know, we're getting some help from our federal government, that's one way to do it. There are other subsidies that we probably could seek, or grants to help us with that. I believe our water system falls into the same category. We have the military buildup that, you know, works inside and outside. When we talk about that, that's trying to work together. And I think less and less our people outside are able to get a good understanding of that. And I think if we can all come together and find out truly how it is that the military buildup and our local people can really talk together about how these things are helping, and find more similar type events that will help us to really reduce that and study that more. Thank you.
Thank you. And coming back down over here, Angela, how will you help make the cost of living and particularly utilities more affordable?
Right on. That's a part, Sanamasi, for the question that's important to our people, right, is because then the rise of cost of power is exponential and it's crazy. But I believe that when we get back to our roots, right, we start, it's one of the panel members that mentioned the natural weather that we have here. Well, mine would be to push and support initiatives that lessen our dependency on fossil fuels and push towards a more greener future. That's part of my platform, right, is sustainability. And when we extract, not to take, but we extract to benefit from, and not to diminish the nature part of it all, it's a balance in our lives that we establish here on our island for our people. That one lessens our footprint in this world, but we create that substance and that way of life that we can share with everybody in the world, starting with Guam first. Sainamasi.
Thank you. And lastly, Mr. Tavares, how will you help to make the cost of living and utilities more affordable?
So first and foremost, thank you for the question from the community. One, it's two different things we're going to talk about, and I know that they're talking specifically about utilities. First and foremost, we have to start tapping into more renewables. The cost of fossil fuels are have just risen and risen. And that's really what's hurting our community right now, because even just a gallon of gas is almost $7 at this point in time. And of course, when we look at the Lee Act, which is what governs the cost of fuel for most people, power for most people, the Lee Act right now is going to be redeveloped, and we haven't even seen the savings that was promised to the people of Guam from the building of the Ukadu power plant with this new greener fossil fuel that we were supposed to be able to be producing. We have to look at options that are on the table. We export trash. I'm not opposed to looking at new systems that's come online to save us from digging more holes in the ground and filling up our landfill. We need to look at burning. How many, for decades, generations, we've burned trash in the backyard. Why can't we just isolate a facility, burn the trash that's there, and then produce power? That's an option, right? That will ultimately lower the cost of power on island. Also, we have to protect our water lens, because that water lens that we have is very important. We have to fix the pipes that are underground, and we have federal funding that we have access to that can do so. Thank you.
Thank you. That's going to do it for the What We Want section of today. And thank you for your thoughtful responses. They're all we're all here to make sure that the voices of the people of Guam are heard, and I'm sure that they certainly appreciate your responses. Thank you very much. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned. And after, we'll be getting into some more rapid fire questions to get a sneak peek into the personalities of our candidates here today. Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Freedom, that's a cheap thing. Freedom to ignore this, that's a cheap thing. Sacrificing facial hair to nature and involuntary blood donations, cheap things. No one signs up for an 800-pound bear chase, but if it happens, cheap thing. VIP parking, exfoliating, treating gravity like a suggestion, saying it'll dry. Free-range parenting, forgetting if that's a moose or an elk, all cheap things. Remembering without saying it. Couldn't be more of a cheap thing. Sweating your tail off, freezing your tail off, an American saving another American's tail. Cheap things. Making a cheap vehicle for only people with cash like him? Not a cheap thing. Or confusing capability with unaffordability? No, not a cheap thing. Making adventure affordable? Now that's a cheap thing. So we're bringing you more cheap things this year, because cheap things should be everyone's thing.
Welcome back to the Hub. Now we're going to have some fun and show the human side of our candidates here today. Get to know a little bit more about their personalities with some rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
We'll try.
We could start.
Okay. Oh, Mr. Tyron first?
Sure.
Okay.
He's a former GPD officer, right?
Okay.
He can take a hit.
Well, we'll see. What do we got?
Okay, so first question. What is your favorite song of all time?
Oh, nice. If we had to go with a song without any lyrics, Europa from Santana.
Okay. And dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Dogs. What kind?
I like Rottweilers.
Rottweilers.
Yes.
Very cute.
Striking
Cute
as a
but ferocious. Mr. Castro, favorite dessert on the fiesta table?
Oh man, okay, since you qualified it to the fiesta table, right, that takes out everything in Tomum as you asked. Latizza pugbal. It's that mammis, it's soft, it's easy on the palate, and you can eat so much of it and not feel as guilty because it's not a steak.
It's a classic. And next, morning hike or evening stroll?
Ooh, good one. Before I turned 40, it would be the morning hike. No, I enjoy a good stroll from time to time. And because I work all the way in the village of Hagat, which I enjoy so much, every day is a late afternoon, evening stroll when we stay the extended day. And I look forward to those, and I look forward to the morning strolls too. So thank you for asking.
Thank you. Mr. Savares, morning person or night owl?
I'm a morning person. I like waking up in the morning, I drop my daughter to school every day. So, it's just a good, that go out in the morning, see all the friendly faces, even the ones that are muzu in the morning. But at the end of the day, it's a good way to jumpstart the day and just start the day on a good foot.
And favorite movie of all time?
A little old school, Forrest Gump. You know, I like Forrest. You know, provides a lot of hope for people. You know, I'm a disabled vet, and I went through my own disability issues, and you know, when I finally got to watch Forrest Gump after I started my recovery side of where I'm at today, I was like, man, I know how that feels. And so, you know, inspirational, right? Provide inspiration for people.
Amen.
A feel-good movie that, you know, the whole family can enjoy.
Yeah.
And lastly, Angela, coffee or tea?
Depends on the day. Sa Paraguay, gi eggan ni cafe daw, then gi ya pupangi ita.
And lastly, your favorite beach on Guam?
Don't put me in that position. Favorite beach. The space-wise, because there's beautiful beaches up north, down south, east and west. Oh man, Letekjan. For me, it'd be Letekjan because then it brings. There's a whole story and history, right? When when I visit the beach, I like to go there and gain something because I might be of a loss of one thing, but also just to enjoy. But one thing that brings me back to my spirit and back home is Letekjan, definitely.
Yes, visiting there, you can definitely start to picture and imagine what it must have been like to live and visit. Yeah. Yes. Well, thank you for entertaining those fun questions. I hope, you know, we have some viewers out there who can relate or who maybe have the same favorite song or favorite movie. So thank you. And before we close out the show, we're going to hear a little bit from each of you about your platforms, and you can, during this time, you'll make your pitch to voters, and you have 60 seconds to do so. You ready?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay, so we'll start with Angela.
Hopefully, Toto Guahan, Guahusi Angela Santos, I stand in front of you asking for your support for me to show my love for our island and our people. I am number 2 on the Democratic side of the ballot. My platform is health, sustainability, and land. And those 3 are of no greater because there's a whole plethora of issues that I engulf myself in, right? Because I am that human being. So whatever my path is in this life, I'd like to share it with you so you know the candidate who stands in front of you asking for your vote of confidence and trust in me. Sainamasi Talu, Los Angeles Santos. I am number 2 on the Democratic side of the ballot.
Thank you. Mr. Savares.
Ange set the stage. So I'm going to stand up and everybody's going to stand up because Ange set the stage. So first and foremost, let me say thank you to KUAM, the KUAM Familia for having me and all of us. My name is Jonathan Savares. I'm number 3 on the Republican side of the ballot. And my platform isn't just one idea or 3 ideas. It's concepts, right? I'm running on our community, our families, and our health. The reality is I could talk about all the things encompass about that, but our community, the baseline is our mayors need support. And that's the base of where I come from. I come from a long family history of municipal servants. My great-grandfather is Vicente San Agustin Beneventi. My mother is former Mayor Melissa Savares. When I look at our families, I grew up in a very strong family dynamic in the church. I watched all our families in our community grow up, and our health, our people need to be healthier, and we deserve that health care that Guam needs for its long-term sustainability on Guam. And with your help and one of your votes, I get there. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Castro, you have
Panogi.
Thank you so much for the privilege to address the people of Guam on such a widely broadcasted forum. Gual si William Castro, Malalaguzu Tatluput Sinadot. My name is Will Castro. I'm the son of a customs officer and full-time homemaker. I really would like to put forward the education and experience that I've accrued over the years. As many of you may know, I stepped away from elected office and I had a chance to go back to my true and my first vocation of teaching and learning. And so should I be given the privilege to serve, I'd like to pick up education, issues related to the Manamko, persons with disabilities, culture, and Masas Pashat Puriman Hobensia, and recreation. My name is Will Castro again. I'm number 15 on the Republican ballot, and I look forward to serving you faithfully and forwardly. Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, Mr. Tyron, you have 60 seconds to outline your platform.
Buenas Janafade Guahu, si Anthony Wayne Cruz Tyron. Malalagudu sa malagudu pabay ajuda gikinalamtin para tana mas mauliki islakta. My name is Anthony Wayne Cruz Tyron. I am running to help the movement to help our island be a better place. I am looking to take care of areas of public safety, help our veterans through advocacy that helps them with their overall quality of life. I am also looking at our economic development that helps all our people on this island. I'm asking you for your help, your support, and more importantly, your vote. I'm number 16 on the Democrat ballot. Vote for me. I ask for your help again. Sujos Masi.
Viva.
Well, thank you, all of you, for being here today to speak to the issues that you may well be leading the forward change on come November, and we wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you, Navia.
So that is going to do it for us here on the Hub Decision 2026 edition, and we'll be here each Wednesday with more candidates, more topics, and more conversations to make sure that you're informed come Election Day. But to get you up to speed, here's more from a forum hosted by the Guam Women's Chamber held on Thursday.
An opportunity to engage directly with candidates, learn more about their priorities, and ask meaningful questions about issues impacting Guam's future unfolded in Tumon on Thursday as the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce hosted their Members in Action series. Organized by the Chamber's Government Committee, the series kicked off with a congressional candidate forum, featuring former Senator Mary Camacho Torres under the Republican Party and former Attorney General of Guam Alicia Garrido Limtiaco running under the Democratic Party. The GWCC adds that current Guam delegate James Moylan was invited but was unable to attend. Ahead of the panel discussion, the pair each outlined their platforms.
We have to be honest with one another. Life on Guam is very difficult. The cost of living is high, and a lot of us don't feel that we really have a future here. Certainly many of our children question that all the time. I'm running for Congress because I believe that we can do better.
And for more than 3 decades, I have been serving the people of Guam, and it's been my privilege to do so in public service, as an educator, and through the practice of law. And I humbly come before you asking for your support and trust, and like many of us, we want to make Guam better.
And throughout the morning, candidates shared their thoughts and action plans for how they anticipate tackling some of our island's greatest challenges. From abortion legislation to strengthening public education, child care access for working families, and uplifting Guam's economy through innovative initiatives and supporting the island's small businesses. And a key point in the discussion was their shared opposition to deep-sea mining in the Marianas. Torres says that protecting the ocean is our responsibility to our heritage and to our future.
When the announcement for deep-sea mining was made, over 65,000 people in Guam and around the Pacific registered opposition to it. And yet in January, before the House Natural Resources Committee, our delegate testified that Guam is not opposed to deep sea mining. This is exactly why Guam needs a clearer and stronger voice in Washington.
And Limtiaco states she is actively working in community and professional organizations to support formal resolutions against deep sea mining.
We want to monitor this activity because it's important for us to ensure that we are doing our part, that compliance with all domestic and international laws, including the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Persons, the Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction or High Seas Treaty, we all have a right, a human right, to have input into this process.
At the end of a productive conversation, they each thank the GWCC for the chance to connect with a few of the women leading the charge for a better tomorrow.
I want to thank so much the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce because it really it's a true honor to be here. Having the opportunity to share with them the issues, the concerns, was a conversation that spoke about our needs, that spoke about what we can do together
I was happy that they invited us today, got to know us a little better, and make a concerted effort now to get other people to come out and vote. Because that's what it's really about, who is going to carry the torch for us, who's going to work for us, and who's going to make it better for Guam.
And make sure to tune in next week to The Hub and our Decision 2026 election season weekly rundown of the people, places, personalities, pressing issues, and public matters, where our guests are Democrats Lillian Guerrero, Clint Rigel, and Republicans Shangu Matautau and Sabrina Salas Matanani.